Is it laid or made plans of mice and men? The best, let's just call it plans that mice and men are making. They don't always go according to plan, right? Well, today didn't go according to plan, all right? Some things got done, some things didn't get done. I got up super early, had my hair all done and fixed and ready and changed, you know, because I wore this for the afternoon live, but then I changed because I had to go to Color Wars. And I said, when I come back from Color Wars, we're going to have a craft live, and then we're going to have the Jaybells. That didn't happen because Color Wars went on for 46 hours. Not really, but just like felt like it. Felt like it. Color Wars went on for a long time, and we didn't get home until late, and then it was like around 10 o'clock, and I just said, no. I started to feel real tired. Gia already called me and said, hey, we got to go to our thing tomorrow. So I know that I could not do a craft and a craft and a what? Oh gosh. And a Jaybells. So we can only do the Jaybells. And Linda loves when I call her out. Trying to get through this for you. Linda really wants the Fabric Queen. I've got to get a really nice thumbnail for that. For the Fabric Queen. Who remembers Fabric Queen here? How many of you remember Fabric Queen? How many of you remember Jenna? If you remember Fabric Queen, put FQ, I do. If you remember Jenna, put Jenna, I do. Jenna, I do. How are you? Fabric Queen. Starting to feel a little sleepy, so I don't know how much we're going to... Oh, we get to watch a video. We get to get the penguins. That's fun. Hi, Slim Moran. Okay, let's watch the end of this penguins. The end of the penguins. And I accidentally put it back a little bit. Okay. So let me start this on.
So in Illinois, $5 pajama sets at Walmart. They have those over here too. They recorded the Black Friday. I saw them actually when I was walking through the night before Black Friday, which is really Black Thursday because they start at 6 p.m. on Thursday, so it's really not Black Friday but Black Thursday. And so I'm going to look at the swinging now. I hope that somebody has an answer. Has anybody been following this case since it came out? I wonder. No, probably not. What holds your glue gun? Okay. This little caddy that you get at the Dollar Tree, Mama Ames showed this, and I've been using it. And it holds your little mini glue gun, and you put your glue sticks in here, and you can tote it around, and you can keep it on here like when it's hot, and it's nice. Oh, you got all this up?
Yeah, she went back.
Well, he looks annoyed. She looks annoyed. It's late night crafting.
She's actually writing it down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe she did. Maybe she just
She's
looking.
Do this to get thyroid relief. If no one's ever called you lazy because of your low thyroid symptoms.
Oh, you got all this up?
Yeah, she went back.
Well, he looks annoyed. She looks annoyed. It's late night crafting.
She's actually writing it down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe she did. Maybe she just
She's
looking at those.
Hi, Liz Tobbs. How are
things
you?
you made.
Hi, Gail. Hi, Dina.
called Albert.
Bucky Ann. Hello.
She looks like she's looking at those things you made, though.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Hello,
maybe
Linda.
That's what it is. Like,
Slam RN.
Should I know what to think? I don't know.
Two scooter check.
Maybe
Bernie.
she thinks they're dog toys.
Oh, you're right. Let's not show it her face as I just did.
Oh my goodness. Oh, here's another sample.
Elvis,
El-
yeah, Elvis. Yeah, when I was a bit embarrassed to call her Elvis because the lady I got it from was really, really posh. And
Posh.
so when I picked her out at
Pish
2 weeks
posh.
old, she said, "Have you got a name for her yet? And we'll call her that until you take it home to get used to it." And I was like, Ellie.
Ellie.
I couldn't actually say I called her Elvis.
Ellie.
But I wouldn't be now, knowing what you're like, would I? No.
Hey, Kathy from Texas. So, what did you find out about the swingers people in the chat? No one's got their eye on Cyber Monday's deals. You know what? Oh, I got a deal. They're liars, right? Because they said the Black Friday deal, but they extended them. I got Photoshop, the new Elements Premiere and the new Elements, normally $99 a piece, and I got it for $89 for both.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was a good deal, and that was on. And then I don't know. I looked at a mirrorless cat. I didn't see like a huge, great deal on them. That they were any bigger deal than, I don't know. Because usually I buy them on a deal anyway, so I don't know. What are you looking for on Cyber Monday, Janelle? Are you looking for something?
Janelle, got a chapter.
I think my penguin's gonna have to carry something on this side because I'm not happy with impervious.
Don't do that yourself. Okay, now? Where's my set? Okay.
I think I'm gonna make him a candy cane for this side because.
Yeah. With your non-white, but still.
Yeah, well, I'll find it. I'll have to go out in the shed or down in the basement or somewhere.
I know, it's too bad I can't change it. You don't understand, White Angel. Slam RN, there's nothing that I can do
So,
at this
let's say-
point.
She can't see it. Connie, I can't see what? You can't see these?
How old is Elvis? Elvis is 10.
Does Elvis get ear problems?
No. She's, touch wood. Nope. I keep on top of her ears, though. They said to clean them every so often, so I do. Is that better?
You're looking for a PlayStation? For yourself, Janelle? Your son? Who's it for? Your husband? You gotta check your homemade fries in the oven, Lisa? Oh, Mama Ames is getting a Cricut maker.
Ooh,
Where did you get it? Did you get a really good deal on it?
yeah. Thanks, Sadie's good. Thank you. But
Is the maker. From Michael's. How much was the deal? Did you buy it online? Look on Amazon for the Cyber Monday deals. $3.49. I know they had some bundles. I'm so confused with the blades for that. If somebody can help me out. What do you need the scoring blade for? What do you need the double scoring blade for? What do you need the perforation blade for? What do you need now there's another fabric blade where they said you could still cut fabric with the fine point blade. I don't know. Does anybody know? Does the maker do more than the air tube? Yes, Carla.
some of their scoring are for
Is for cards making?
yes, some of them are more heavy duty.
Okay, I have found most of the prices in Cyber Monday are not all that great. That's what I usually find, 80s Girl. I mean, they had the Instant Pot last year. Was it last year or the year before? One time, Amazon, like usually will repeat the deals, especially for Cyber Monday, but I missed the Instant Pot. My daughter wanted it, that year, and I missed it on Black Friday. And I'm like, oh, they'll have it again. They'll have it for Cyber Monday. They didn't. I said, oh, they'll have it for Green Monday. They didn't. So I had to spend more than I wanted to that Christmas on the Instant Pot.
Carolyn, look at Wendy Dickerson's comment.
Wendy, let me see. Oh yeah, everybody argued with me. It is a Cricut. No, it's a Cricut. No, it's not. It's a Cricut.
Yeah, it's a Cricut. No need to cry about it.
Yeah, I know. Now that I don't need it, Sharon, I know. But the year that I needed it, they put it on Black Friday, and that was it. That was it. And they were all sold out because I think it was so new at that time, Sharon, and everybody was looking for them that didn't have them. Now a lot of people have them, so they're probably. Mr. Cardinal?
You want to go out?
I used to work in a craft store. You did, Robin? Did you like working in a craft store? Were the people nice or were the people creepy? You have an older model that uses the cartridges. Yeah, that's a hassle. That was a lot of money, right? To have to buy a cartridge I can't even imagine, Mom Ames, to have to buy a cartridge every single time. In that respect, you can do a heck of a lot more with one, so it's probably cheaper in the long run to have the Cricut design space and all those free fonts and everything. Elvis is so pretty, Weilerwick says, and you are beautiful.
Thanks.
We are only seeing half of what you hold up with your right hand. You're only seeing half of what I hold up with my right hand, Can you see it now, Connie?
Oh, that's, they're cool.
Can you see it now, Connie?
Yeah, they look like a grown-up's done it.
Okay. Did you see Jaybells? Jaybells, you have to hold yours up. Yours are cute. Yours look so cozy because they have that cozy stuff on them. Very cute. That looks like Chili Willy.
But they're like.
Very nice. We are only seeing, you're only, again? No, you're good, right? Oh, yeah. Ooh, let's see, depends on how big of a family you're cooking for.
Oh, wow, it's pretty.
I love how different they both are. Yeah, they look, that's why, everybody gives it their own little spin on it. Scoring blade is for making cards, I believe. Yeah, see, I'm not really using mine to make cards. It's more like decals, and then signs that you make with the decals. So I really want to know, like, what are the must-have blades? And then I want the quick swap ones. And it looks like they only get the scoring blade in that. But now they have this new fabric blade.
Are we raising money for homes? No, we're doing it for fun.
Somebody said, are we raising money for what?
Homeless animals.
Homeless animals?
Yeah. I'm not laughing at you.
No.
I'm just.
That's good. I laugh a lot. One glass of wine, you're a cheap date. Folding for making paper flowers. What about if you, Renee, what about if you want to make the,
I missed
you
Renee.
just said you just got a Cricut too, right, Renee? What about the felt flower? You see the felt flower wreaths? Do you need the scoring blade for that?
No.
Not yet, Nanette, probably tomorrow.
Nanette. Hi, Nanette.
Oh, summer.
Mr. Cardinal, what is, you saw a dog?
Oh, that's my dog. That's my dog.
That's her dog.
I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at the fact that I'm up at 2:30 in the morning. For fun, not for charity.
Right, yeah, because we get, a lot of fun. We don't do any fundraising. I am two glasses and I am wishing. We don't raise money, Mr. Cardinal.
Mr. Cardinal.
Mr. Cardinal being okay?
You are a troll.
We're not. We're making these as a craft. Who's raising money with them? I'm not selling them. Some people can sell them, but I don't think anybody would buy mine, but I'm not selling them. Okay, Mr. Cardinal says, okay. No raising of funds here. Just fun, crafts, fun. That's all we're doing. Oh, that was the first comment from Mr. Cardinal? Okay. All right, Mr. Cardinal.
Mr. Cardinal.
Is there a chat later? Yeah, I'm going to go on later. I'm going to kick off NetWow at 9:30 and no school tomorrow. That's good if, but if you do that, there is good money to be made if you go to a craft fair. You can see them and they are adorable. What's wrong with Sassy? Nothing, just that white blood cell count. Remember, it was low when she had the Lyme disease, and so they sent out another test to rule out, some other stuff, and then, we'll have to go, but I think it's another tick-borne illness. I don't know, we'll see tomorrow. Hopefully everything is okay. You have school so far? They already called us. They called us about 4 hours ago, no school. They can't, yeah, I know, yeah, they canceled. They do that now. They never used to do that. They do it. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. They never used to do that stuff.
Well, I suppose that's nice, but I mean, the nostalgia effect of waiting till the morning.
Right, yeah, hoping, yeah. Oh, on paper, okay. The fine point blade is for felt materials. The scoring.
Hi, Blue.
And the
Yes,
scoring
it's
is for light
Christmas in
material.
March.
What about the
No, we're
fabric
talking
now? They
about
have a different
Scammers,
fabric.
Blue
You used to
Streaker.
be able to do it with the fine point blade.
Blue Streaker.
So I bought like extra fine point blades, but now there's like another fabric blade. I think I'm gonna pick it up while it's on sale.
Good night, Carly. See.
Go to your channel, Blue
Sorry,
Streaker.
deep blade. Deep blade is for felt. The deep blade is for felt? Okay, now I'm gonna get another one.
Okay, I'm gonna.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on because, yeah, thank you so much. That was so sweet of you.
Quite all right. Fun.
Thanks so much.
You have a poinsettia as your banner, so you're in the right place, Blue Streaker.
Bye. Thank you. Sasquatch soap comes to your door every month if you order. Yeah. Yes, it does, Janelle.
Okay,
Yes,
she's gone. Now she's left.
So, deep point blade and the fabric blades. So I need a deep point blade and the fabric blade. But in your first project, did you do your first project? You used the fine point blade and it cut fabric.
Okay, that's the end.
I don't know.
So that's the end of that video, right? Right as rain. All right, let me see now. All right. From the moment I saw him, I fell. Okay. Why does this seem all whacked out now? Something is all wacky. I don't know what is wacky. Okay, we're gonna do Jaybells now. All right, back to the texts, right? Back to the texts. Hi, Duping Delight. How are you? How are you? How are you? Okay. We are on chapter 12 of Jaybells, the YouTube imposter who invaded our life. Okay, and I believe we were on September of 2020. All right, all right. So, let's Let's go on. Let's go on. Let's go on. Okay, September of 2020. She was going on a beach vacation. She was on a beach vacation. Okay, she was on a beach vacation with Linda and her partner. And Lisa and her partner, I'm sorry. And then she showed me stuff in the Airbnb, and I said, cool miniatures. Tell her not to fondle your sweater too much. That was a joke because she was rubbing the sweater. I said, is it cold there? You guys seem bundled up. She said, LOL, we are up high, 1,000 feet up. It's like moorland. So it's a bit cold. It's a bit windy, but no, it's not colder than that. In fact, we have a heat wave this week. The lady said to keep the door to the house shut because sheep will wander in. I took some nice footage with the DJI, a time lapse and stuff, and panorama. And then I told her I ate a whole pineapple and I felt sick. This is redundant from last night. She said, oh my gosh, a heck ton of pineapple. Let's see. Then she said, I actually got sunburned today. Would you believe? I said, oh wow, wear your sunscreen. Hope you guys are having a great time. FYI, don't watch this video about a spider because she was terrified of spiders. And she said, okay, thanks. I said, it might trigger you because it's not a pet but a spider on the wall, a creepy one. She goes, LOL. Oh, okay, thanks for the heads up. Let's see. Talk about spiders for a while here. So let me see. She's talking about a situation. There's like some things I told you I don't read when they're personal, but I'm going to give you. She sent a picture of herself on this vacation. So let me put that picture up, okay? Save. Hold on, I'm going to put it up. Hang on. Trying to get there. Here we go. Okay. Let me go and get the picture. And if you'd missed my true crime news roundup, true crime headlines, I posted it earlier today. Go and watch it. There's a lot of very interesting stories in there, okay? So please try to watch that video, leave a comment, share it out. We appreciate that. Okay, here she is. And I'll tell you what she says about this picture. Okay, so that was September 9th, 2020. She said, this was King Arthur's castle and Merlin's cave. I said, wow, gorgeous. She goes, I know, right? I said, yes. And she goes, and we went to the place they filmed a TV show called Doc Martin. I don't know if you ever watched it. I said, nope, just the shoes. She goes, oh, no, Doc Martin has this guy in it. She put a picture of him. And then she says, oh, you should ask the American Ramblers. Do that. And now she's ordering me around. Lisa said Americans love it. And I went to his house today. Ha, ha, ha. Martin, not Martin. She goes, Martin, not Martin. That's the shoes. LOL. I said, LOL. She said, this is something about a moderator. Okay. So then she said, oh, they look what they did for my birthday. So here's another picture. Now, remember, she was only 32 years old, but she was telling all of us she was 40. Okay, so she was telling us all she was 40. And this is in that confession video when she says you took that video down and all that stuff. So this is about that time. All right. That should be popping up. Okay, here we go. 40 and fabulous. And the cake, and then this was a little personal guitar pick. Okay, so we got that. Now, she says, look what they did, surprise birthday. I said, oh, sweet. Let's see. Then she said, hey, I caught the beginning of your live. I'm not sure what's been occurring. I just want you to let you know I'm here and I loves ya, always. I said, oh, thanks. Hope you guys are having a great time. Then she posted a picture of Elvis and she said, feel like you need a hug today, so I'm sending you one. Lots of love. I said, oh, thanks. Right back at you. She said, thanks. Then she said, the beach that Lisa lives on? I think it's the beach they went away on. But she sent a picture of Elvis. Let's see. Here's a picture of Elvis. Elvis. Let's see. Let me get this. Oh, shoot. That's not what I want to do. Go to the photos. Okay. Upload it to the mail. There we go. First time it worked on this first shot. Okay. All right, let me get that. There we go. Okay. Back to, she sent me a picture of the beach, and then she said she made a friend. She was in there with another dog. And then she tried to call. I said, sorry, I missed your call. I can try you back when I get home, unless urgent. I don't have a good signal here. Looks like Elvis made a friend. She said, it's not urgent. Call if you have the time. I think this is when she wanted to have a seizure in front of Lisa while I was on the phone. It's not urgent. Call if you have the time. Yes, she says, well, not directly, but within walking distance. Then I said, are you back at her house? She said, I'm going to come on the live when I get home in a day or two and tell the Ramblers all about it and show pictures if you'll have me. Yes, We just had the Airbnb for 5 days. I said, well, let me see if we can schedule you in. She goes, okay, LOL, ha 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 ha, duh. Let's see. Then she said, sorry I missed your call. Tried to call you back. Didn't hear my phone. Then September 13th, she said, I hope you're having a good day. September 14th, she said, I'm back home in London. I said, okay, how are you feeling? She said, tired, but okay. I said, okay, a little stressed and tired, but okay. She goes, oh, I'm sorry. She said, I feel like the world has gone insane right now. I'm freaking sane. I said, no worries. She said, hugs, and if you need anything at all, I'm here. I said, okay. Then let's see. Okay, there's stuff here that's personal about other people, and I don't want to put that out there. Okay, so then she says, tired, it was a tough journey, 85 degrees today, but I'm all right, feel quite rejuvenated from the break. I said, that's good. She said, yeah, I know, UK is apparently hotter than the Bahamas this week. I said, wow, that's crazy. She said, I know, right? That's why we are still sat outside at 11 the other night. Nuts. And she goes, although Elvis on the train, that's her tongue, was going to stay that way. Okay. And then she texted a picture of a Sylvanian family store. And then she said, thanks for the chat. Stand with you all the way. Always here. Loves yas. I have an appointment at 7:30, so 2:30 a.m. for a review of a scan and bloods and the lumbar puncture I had prior to the break in cycle tomorrow. That will determine how much longer I have treatment and intensity of it for the next 8 weeks. I said, do you need any meds from here? Jimmy said, do you need Tums? Not when I'm saying med, she wanted ibuprofen, Aleve, and Tums. She said, yes, freaking Tums. Yes. She goes, that would be awesome if you don't mind. And I said, which flavor? I put both in the cart, these big things of Tums. And I said, okay, anything else? And she goes, no, I'm okay. I still have things when I stocked up with you. Thanks so much. I said, okay, let me know. I'll be here for a little bit if you remember something. She goes, okay, that's real kind. Thanks. Then I said, how did your appointment go? I am so stupid. I did not see it as 2:30 at my time. She goes, oh, yeah, okay. I mean, I will hear on Monday, but physically fine. Oh, no worries. Hope you're well. I said, yes, I'm okay. She said, okay, good. I have a lady today coming to collect some of AJ's things. I'm donating some to people who can't afford it. It's pretty tough. I said, oh, really? I'm sorry. What made you decide to do that? She goes, it's okay. It's tougher than I expected, though. And she goes, well, I don't even go to my wardrobe anymore. I avoid it. And I kept seeing all these advertisements online, people pleading for things, and it felt like the right thing to do. Not everything. I am keeping some. I said, it is a very nice thing for you to do. Just make sure you're ready. It's okay to change your mind. She says, yeah, I know. I'm regretting it a little bit because it's so hard. It's making me cry a lot. Pathetic. I'm just sitting there and people need it. It's just sitting there and people need it. I said, no, it's not pathetic. If you're not ready, don't do it. She said, okay, I've got a couple of hours before she comes. I'll see. She said, sorry to lay that on you, but I appreciate the advice. Thank you. I said, no problem, it is fine. And she said, XX. Then I said, what was with something S? Then I don't know what she was saying. Personal stuff. Let's see. Personal stuff. Stuff about the moderators, deleting stuff. Let's see. Let me see. She's talking about Truthy Magoo. She's talking about someone drinking. Okay, a lot of this she's just talking about something. Okay, then I gave her a picture of the lake. I showed it to her, and she said, hold on, my leg is bleeding here. What's going on with my leg? My ankle, actually. What's going on with my ankle? Said I scratched it on something. I don't know. Okay, never mind. So she said, oh my gosh, that's glorious. She said, picture perfect. I'll leave you to enjoy it. I said, LOL, okay. And then she's talking about somebody drinking. She's very into everybody's, whatever they're doing. I think she does a lot of this stuff to triangulate people. Okay, then she posts something else. Okay, then there's a gift she posted. Then she showed me, not your lake, but this is a really pretty sunset in London. But it really didn't look like that. It looked like between two buildings. She said, I'm not too sure of something. I think it's the shawl. Then I told her there was going to be, there's a scheduled delivery. When is the colonoscopy? Oh, I had to go for my colonoscopy coming up. Okay, my first. So, let's see. Oh, then she told me about Curly Sue. Okay, she showed me a picture and she goes, guess the movie. I said, Curly Sue. That's what I asked her niece, that she loves that movie. She says, yes. And then I showed her a picture of the lake. She said, oh, nice. I said, is that a favorite? She said, yes, it sure is. I'd like to go back and watch that movie and see what it is that she loves about that so much. I wonder if it has anything to do with anyone in that movie scamming anything. So now she knows I'm going to go for my colonoscopy and everything, right? So on September 25th, she starts writing all together again. It says, BI99D pressure, but pressure spelled PRESSU 4E, and instead of saying sky, it says BKI, high, again, back, 50 hospital. I said, oh no, how are you? She goes, much better after they brought it down, thanks. Sorry, I've been sleeping otherwise. I'd have updated. Just going to give me a higher dose of medication again, then start the start of treatment to stop it happening. Fingers crossed. I said, okay, good to hear. Are you still there in the hospital? She said, nope. No, I came home a little while ago. It's all gone to crap here again with the ickies, right? The C thing. I said, I heard. She goes, but I've been reassured that for now I'm okay. They're going to have, as far as possible, COVID-free hospitals so people can still get their treatment. Okay, so then I said, I hope you're okay. Then she said to me, I hope you're okay. I heard briefly this morning, when is your colonoscopy? They don't sedate us in the UK, only special requests. Hold on a second, I just have to quickly. Okay. Sorry, I had to send something. So she said, I said, that's good. She said, No, I didn't say that. I said, did you get to look through the trial stuff? I said, my colonoscopy is Tuesday. She said, now she's writing all together again. I'm going to go through it all slowly. I'm a bit tired at the moment, but I am getting through it, yeah. I said, all right, let me know if I can help you. She says, okay, I'm sorry you're nervous with that. I said, with that. Then she goes, thanks so much. I appreciate the offer. I said, oh well, we shall see. Hopefully it will go fine. If not, Luke will take the channel over, LOL. She goes, it will do. I know it will. But I know how nerve-wracking these things are, and you don't have to apologize for being fortunate with your health. Oh, listen to this one. Listen to this. She goes, I didn't even say, did I apologize? I did not. I said, oh, well, we shall see. Hopefully it will go fine. If not, Luke will take the channel over, LOL. Where did I apologize? She goes, it will do. I know it will. But I know how nerve-wracking these things are. And you don't have to apologize for being fortunate with your health and not having to have much done over the years. Get out of here. I want to give you a kick in the butt. What the hell? You don't have any of the things you're saying. You've been very fortunate with your health and you're treating it terribly because you're lying about stuff. Oh my gosh, you're such a liar, lady. Oh, she's such a lying sack. So then I said, I know, I feel terrible. You endure so much on your own. I wish we could be there for you. She goes, oh, I know, but you are. I feel it and know it many ways. That's usually why I text you when I go in. That way you're there. It doesn't feel so lonely then. I said, oh, good. She said, XX. I said, XX. She said, so the package arrived in London. I just checked, so hopefully it'll be out for delivery. I guess Monday, if they don't do it tomorrow. I said, oh, wow, early. She said, yes. Let's see. All right. She's talking about something else here. Then she said, well, it was Rosh Hashanah a week ago. Okay. So then she says, typical, it's 4 miles away. Otherwise, I'd go to the depot, but that's a train away. I'll wait. 40 with this week, dude. Freaking 40. This is September 28th. I said, I know. Happy early birthday. She said, oh, no. I'm not reminding you. I'm nervous. How did that happen when I'm only 29? I said, oh, I know what you meant. I'm only 29 too. She said, LOL. Shite me. Ha ha. Well, exactly. You get it. It's a mathematical improbability. I said, truly. She goes, if you lived in the UK, your first colonoscopy wouldn't be mandatory until you're 55. I said, LOL. She said, LOL. And then she said, she posted something from the Armchair Detective. I don't know. Then she told me, sending big hugs, you got this, about the colonoscopy. And then I said, did the movie show for you? She said, no. I was unwell. I not myself. Sorry. Now, of course, this is the day after my colonoscopy, right? Goes right back to Jaybells now. You had your day, Carolyn. Right back on me. I said, sorry to hear that. What's wrong? She goes, it's okay. I'm just not me. I said, same stuff as the last time we talked or something different? She goes, I don't remember. I went to the hospital, but no swelling or bleeds. But she puts bleeds. My thoughts are slow, and I can't stop trying. I said, you were in the hospital? She said, they are jumbled up for. I said, yesterday? She said, night. They said I'm tired. I said, okay, for your thoughts. Are you sleeping? She said, not really. They gave me medicines for it. I don't know what to do. I tried to call people and ask for their help, but it went unanswered. I think she needs to say unanswered. I can't remember who answered in the end. I don't know what doing. I'm sorry I sound crazy. I'm sorry. It's okay. I'm sorry. I'm just not myself. I said, when were you calling? She goes, yesterday. I didn't call you because I knew you had things yourself. Yeah, I had a colonoscopy. Thanks for not really bothering me. Oh my gosh. I said, can't you look at your phone to see who you called? She's like, I called Lisa, Lisa, and Nick. And I said, and you couldn't get them? No. Now here she is, right? Great. You went for your colonoscopy and nobody else answered my calls. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad, Jaybells. So, she goes, no, I called the hospital, but I couldn't remember if they said to rest or go in. And then I spoke to, I think, Bella. She answered, tell me to go in and what to do. I said, right, and this was for you Tuesday night? She goes, well, I tried to call her in the day, I think, and later those people, I said, you were speaking with me on early morning Tuesday. And she said, yes. I had not had a seizure, I know that, but I couldn't stop crying. Everything was slow. Words, was using the wrong words. I don't make sense. I'm doing it better now. I'm just scared. I just want to be myself. I said, are you sure you did not have one of those standing seizures? She says, I didn't. I really certain of it. She goes, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I just want to be better. I don't want to be just laying here by myself, but I can't do anything about it. I said, right, I know. She goes, I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I said, it's all right.
The typing's a little bit hard. I just want to be mad at myself. I just want to be back to myself. Yeah.
So then she goes, I'm sorry for earlier. Thank you for everything. Then she said, Elvis is loving her new stuff. Thank you for everything. It's terrific. Thank you so much. So I guess I sent her a bunch of stuff and sent Elvis something as well. Let me see. I don't know what Elvis is eating. I really don't know what Elvis is eating. But let's see. I think we'll change the picture, right? Save. Alrighty. All right. Here we go. Okay, there's Elvis. I don't know what. Oh, he's got that is a rope and it has a bone on it. These bone toys with ropes. All right, let's see now. All right, let me go over here. I was wondering what I got him, then one of his things. Okay. So I said, oh, you got it. She said, it came at 8 a.m. Fantastic stuff. All the sunflowers. I freaking love it. Oh, that's when I got her. all these sunflowers. I got her sunflower cutting board. I got her sunflower dish towels. I got her sunflower, sunflower dish towels, like maybe placemats, a table runner, maybe something like that. And water buffalo. Elvis is in her element. I said, the glass cutting board survived, I hope. She said, it survived intact. Yes, I'm so pleased with the fall stuff. I love it. I said, good, glad you like it. She said, yes, so much. Hope you're well. I said, yes, that pain went away, thankfully. She said, oh, thank goodness, that's good. Then she said, I had Chinese food attempted to be delivered to my house for the 3rd time tonight. She said, I haven't asked for it. I've asked everyone else. You didn't send any, did you? Random, I know. I said, no. And she said it was 25C. I said, what is 25C? She goes, okay, thanks. I had to go through everyone. I've been tired. It's been tried 3 times tonight. All have my address. And she goes, oh, that's my apartment number. I said, oh, and she goes, yeah. And when I text, it was once. Now it's been 3 times. I've had people do something similar, but they always tell me or say a surprise is coming, but not Chinese food like this, not a meal or anything. Anyways, thanks. And then October 3rd, I said, happy birthday. She said, thanks so much. I said, are you meeting with Bella? She said, we are just finishing up. And she sent me a picture of them. And she said, you know, I'm not so good in real time at saying things, but I wanted to say to you tonight was thank you. Without you, without all you do, and without you being you, today would have been very different. The people, me, it all. I'm grateful to you and for you. Thank you for everything. Love you, XX. I said, oh, thanks, and can't imagine not having you in our lives either. All part of a greater plan. Love you. Then she says, she sends me a picture of a pizza, a pepperoni pizza. Hang on a minute. Hold on one sec. I'm just going to do one more little thing. Hold on, please. Okay, sorry, I had it just take. I have to shut this heat. It's so hot. Sorry. My foot heater thing is still on it and it's too hot. I'm dying of heat. Okay. Sorry. I'm back on it, guys. So she says, so this is 40, pizza in bed, watching garbage, not too shabby, a Sunday. And she literally has this big pizza, and she's got like 3 pizzas. Here, I'll put it there. It's like crazy. Give me a sec. I'm just getting the picture. I'm still here, don't freak, okay? Okay. Back to life. Here it is. But remember, she's not 40, okay? This is just another lie. All right, let's see. Just another lie. Okay. And then she said, is this the crackle glaze you use? Okay, and then now, then at October 6th, she goes, I've come to a crossroads. Today my landlord has texted to say he is selling my house. I said, yes, on the crackle. Oh, what does that mean with your apartment? She says, it means I have to move. I said, are you sure? Maybe the new owners will want it as an investment property. She goes, but also, does that mean I move home or here? I don't know yet. It could be very quick or months away, just don't know. I said, and allow you to stay? She says, okay, sure. It's hard to tell. It may not. Good point, though. I hadn't thought of that. Okay, she hadn't thought of that. And then I said, right. And that is usually how it works here. I said, apparently, okay, when I talking about calls from Walt County, let's see. Then I said, okay, no worries. Did you go for treatment today? She said, yes, I did. I said, okay, how are they going? She said, they're okay. I'm tired, very tired. This is October 7th. But I'm okay. I just went to get better. It's really hard, but I'll get there. Oops. I said, yes, you will. Sorry it's hard right now. I'm here if you need anything. She said, thanks so much. I appreciate it, XX. I said, always, XX. Then, okay. Then she said there was 3 missed calls. So she tried to call me 3 times, okay? She said, hey, Carolyn, tried to call a few times tonight. Jimmy, too. That is, she called Jimmy, too. That is what Janelle would do. Scooter, too, I think. It didn't go through the calls, so I don't want to get in the way. Here she is. She called 3 times in one night, and I didn't get the phone. Okay, she literally called 8:23 p.m., 8:24 p.m., and 8:26 p.m. to me. She called Jimmy as well, okay? And then it just immediately went from A to Z saying, so I don't want to get in the way, so it's not urgent. But I don't know who else to call. Plus, you're my person. My way, if something she wrote, New York, this is all together, New York way, if you're free for a hot minute, call me. And then she goes, no, I didn't think your notifications were going through. That's okay. Don't panic when you get my message. I said, we were without phone, internet, and cable until now. And she said, I got a call to tell me about a certain video. I said, who called? She told me. I'm not sure she's talking about stuff. Now, let's see. Watched it. Let's see. She's talking about like drama. Then she wanted me to come on and join them on a Zoom. And let's see. Then another call. Then I said, how are you doing? She said, I'm all right. How's it going? I said, okay, raining. She said, pretty much got the move organized, but don't have long until I have to move. Yikes. She goes, I'd rather be shot in the face. And then she goes, I said, oh, it's cold here. And she goes, oh, same here. I'm wrapped in a blanket next to the radiator. I think that's it now. Cold, dark, slip into freaking winter. Yay. And this was October 12th. I said, no, not yet. It's supposed to warm up tomorrow. I said, she said, fingers crossed for you. Let's see. Talk about truthy Magoo here. Okay. All right. And let's see. 2 missed calls. Let's see. Just personal stuff about some other people. Then on October 16th, she says, hope you've rested well and doing okay today, my dear. Last day down of treatment for the weekend. Finally 2 days off. I said, oh, good. Yes, I went to bed early. October 18th, 2020. She said, hey there. You're a rock star. No, she just said, hey there. Hope you're well. So I went to sign the lease today on my new apartment and he gave me the keys early. Then she said, I'm not going for that place. I don't even like it. I'm just clutching at straws and need to stop looking until I move. Sorry for the runaround. I said, that's okay. You'll find the right one when ready. And she goes, this is awful. Ha ha ha. My stuff is getting picked up in half an hour. My wardrobe is still full of clothes. I haven't packed my instruments. Ha 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 ha. I think I'm going to have a 2-day move a week apart. Horrific. Oh well, worst things in life. Hope you're well. Love yas. Here, and I'll show you what she's got. Back to life. Back to reality. Okay, I'm sending this. All right, let's see what the chat is saying for a minute. I'm going to put this up and then I'm going to take a look at what the chat is saying because I don't want to ignore the chat. All right? Back to life. Okay, let me see what. Hold on. Where the heck are you guys? Slam RN said the movie Curly Sue is free on YouTube now. Oh, is it really? Oh, I'm going to have to revisit that. It's about a little girl with John Belushi who do scams. Interesting. That's her favorite movie. Gosh. Dina says, geesh. But she doesn't want to be a bother. The guilt, too. Hi, Ann Chapman. How are you? Fictitious disorder imposed on others. Another way to impose this fake illness. Exactly. Exactly. Interesting. Thank you for finding out about the Curly Sue there, Slam. That'll be interesting. I'll have to revisit that movie. Okay. I wonder if she copied anything from it. That's very interesting. That's her favorite movie. I think she probably thinks she's that little girl. She's probably living in some fantasy world. She loves living in fantasy. Okay, she said, this is awful about these boxes. Right? I said, oh gosh, I hope it went smooth. She said, it went okay. Thanks for the recommendation on the mattress. Most comfy thing ever. How are you doing? I don't even know what I recommended on the mattress. I said, okay, I'm about to do a short Amazon video. She goes, oh, nice. I'm just about to hop in the tub. Okay. Then there's 2 missed calls. Then she says, thanks for this. She says, someone else is a freaking nut job. Okay, that she's so similar to Sakura. Hope you're having a good day. Then she says, okay, I'm in bed. Please don't worry. Everything is okay. It's just been a hard week. I'll be in touch tomorrow morning. I'm sorry to make you worry. You have enough to worry about. I said, okay, glad you made it to bed. Safe. Sweet dreams. Love you. Then she says, just leaving my house now. 2 missed calls. And then she says, thank you for everything and for being there and wanting to. I know you know I appreciate it so much. Thank you. I said, no problem. Always there. Are you okay? Then she posted a picture of her bedroom and I guess her new apartment. She goes, new bed. Massive bedroom. Want to see it? I'm sure you do. Back to life. Okay, let me go over there and get it for you. Remember, she had these people from the university moving and setting up her stuff because she was just too sick. And you know what? Do you know what I'm just noticing? Okay, I need you to please do me a favor. Look at this right here. Look at the floor here. She's trying to say that's her old apartment. And this is her new apartment. It looks like exactly the same floor. And it looks like the same soffit thing over there. I think she's a big, big liar. Liar, liar. Her pants are bursting into fire. Okay, let's see now. New massive bedroom. I said, looks good. How's your right side? Oh, that's because I think that was that night she had to get on a call and tell us she couldn't move her right side. And then she said, we said, can you make a fist? And she holds her arm up and her hands are all extended. And she goes, yeah. And we go, no, make a fist. And she goes, I am. And we go, no. And we're looking at each other like, what the heck? Then she says, October 31st, 2020, hope you're having a good day. I hope I didn't hold you up by calling so late before you went on. You see what I mean? Here's what it is. She tried to hold me up before I went live, right? Hi, hope I didn't hold you up by calling so late before you went live. My apologies. I have slept basically all day, which is really helping, I guess. Thanks for being there. I said, no worries. It was okay. Glad you're feeling better. She says, thanks. We've been locked down again, the whole country. Hospitality, restaurants, and non-essential stores to close for 4 weeks. I said, wow. Restaurants are not even for takeout? She goes, delivery only. If they can manage, most restaurants aren't doing well since the curfew and then the no mixing of households. I said, oh. She said, I know, right? I finally moved to a place with decent shops on my door, and they're all going to shut. I said, yeah, isn't that just peachy? Like, looks like something, I don't even know what I'm saying there. Let's see here. She said, I'm having one of my weird teary moments again. Quite tired. No treatment tomorrow, but I will on Monday. Thanks for asking. Because I said, how are you feeling? Did you go back to treatment tomorrow? So she said, I'm having one of my weird teary moments again. Quite tired. No treatment tomorrow, but I will I will on Monday. Thanks for asking. How's you? I said, oh, right, I keep forgetting it's Saturday. I said, sorry you're sad. I am okay, kind of stressed, but what else is new? She goes, LOL, do your clocks change tonight? She says, I'm not so sure. I'm just really struggling. It's no matter how much rest I get, I'm so freaking tired. Oh, let's see here. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see now. She goes, aw, I'm sorry you're stressed. Let's see. I said, how are you feeling today? This is November 1st. She said, hey there, yes, not too bad, thanks. Feeling a little more rested. How about you? I said, oh, well, as long as can be after a super long Lisa segment. I said, she always makes me stay up way too late, but I never learn. Then she said, oh, did she come on today? I haven't seen it yet. I slept. I said, yes, she did, LOL. She said, I know, right? I said, it's okay. We had fun. She said, yes, of course. It's all fun until it's 8 a.m., LOL. I said, well, technically 9 a.m., but with the time change. And she goes, ah, right, yes, with the clock change. Oh, that always craps me over. It's dark so early now. I hate it. I said, yeah, that sucks. Then she says, I woke up to a bum outside my door the other day, so I put a super lock on the gate and a Ring doorbell. He was asleep outside my door. I opened it and he stared at me, right at me, and went back to sleep. I said, in the corner? How does he get in? I said, aren't the doors locked? She goes, my gate didn't have a lock on it, but I put one on now. I said, do you live upstairs? She said, I live downstairs. I said, you mean that is outside? You say gate. And she says, yes, it's outside. And she posed a picture. Then she said, but on my property, I think he was knocking on my door at 4 a.m. I said, OMG. And I put an emoji. And then she said, I heard that, but was too scared to check. I went to take the trash out at 8 a.m. and he was right freaking there. I said, I just shut the door. She said, I just shut the door. I didn't want to ask him to move in case he had a knife or something. I checked an hour later and he was gone. He had gone. I said, good idea. She said, but I bought a Ring doorbell now and put a lock on the gate, and I think it'll be okay. I said, at least he was not in your house like that one. She goes, right, exactly, freaking who magnet. I said, I know, LOL. And I said, how did that other guy get in? You left your door open? She goes, yeah, I let Elvis in the yard and I nipped to the bathroom, which was right by the door. I said, LOL. And she goes, and when I came out, she wasn't outside, so I shut the door and he was sat on my couch, LOL. I said, was that New York City? And she goes, it was in Brooklyn. This is all fake. This is somebody else's story, I guarantee you. And I think Bucky told a story like somebody, Brooklyn. And I said, LOL. She goes, ha 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 ha, seriously, I have a baseball bat, but I don't have it in the new house yet. I left it at the old one. I said, right. She goes, ha ha ha, I doubt a drink bum will climb the gate with the spikes, though. It will be okay now. And she posted something in her kitchen. She goes, I think the sunflowers make the kitchen. Here, I'll post. Hold on. Here we go. Copy. Okay. Why didn't that go on there? Hold on. Save. Okay. Okay, let me get this. She's got 2 stakes there. Isn't that interesting? 2 stakes. One for her and her boyfriend, that guy. She put the sunflower stuff there. Oh yeah, I got her this sunflower trivet thing. She has something on here, if that's it. What's on there? Something she's watching. Oh, this is a sunflower. Is that a sunflower towel? I don't know where the other things are she has. Okay, so she said, I think the sunflowers make the kitchen. Oh, and then she put more stuff that I gave her over here. Scooter remembered all this, how like Jaybells showed her all this stuff in her apartment and the fireplace, I think she mentioned. So I sent her these owls, these pumpkins. I'm not sure if I sent her that lantern. Okay, so let me see here. I may have. All right, let me see now. So go back to this, and I said, poor owl, where is his eye? He needs an eye patch at least. She goes, that is tucked behind his wing. I need to stick it back on, LOL. I said, he is holding on tight to it. She said, it survived the Atlantic, just not the trip from Bloomsbury to Camden Town. I said, oh gosh, poor guy. She goes, I know, right? These decorations are so cute. It really makes it feel all fall and whatnot. I said, yeah, festive. I said, cool. And she posted something else, okay? Let's see. She's talking about someone that's scaring her. Okay, then I said, high winds, and this is great. She says, and so do we. Not as bad, but it's stormy. I suck. I'm sorry. She said, I'm sorry, sucks. I said, as long as it's going to suck because it's very cold. She goes, oh, damn horrific. Better get the tea kettle on and hot water bottle. Hope it comes back on for you. I said, yeah, we shall see. Did you go in today? She goes, yes, I did go in for treatment today. I said, how is that sight? She said, doing better. After resting up, I said, oh, your side. I said, do you still have someone coming 2 times a day? She said, no, that was only for a few days. She said, but I've done some things to help myself out so I don't get overtired. I booked in a laundry service for one. And then she goes, well, I suppose if that still is allowed with lockdown, I don't know. I'll have to check. I said, but you said she booked it. See, what a liar. So I said, oh, okay. I have to think about what to do with something. She goes, oh, yes. She's talking about some... Okay, let's see now. Then you're talking about something. Okay, he is not real. Okay. Then she goes, crappity crap crap. Nightmare. I'll give it some thought. And let's see. She goes, yeah, every thought I have so far is crap. Then she said, so I go from sleeping to insomnia. I can't win. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Let me see. Let's see. She's talking about different things on YouTube, and then she put a picture of these pinecone birds. And she goes, I said, cute, you don't feel good? She said, hey, oh, I'm okay. Just the chemo's lousy. Just waiting for some drawing supplies to arrive to finish off something. Ordered some more. I can't find them in my boxes. It will be done tonight. I said, oh, okay. I said, waiting on the Chris Watts bombshell to drop. This is November 6th. She says, yes, that debacle. Then she says, I've been preoccupied with a spider that seems to live outside my house. It disappeared today and has been in the same spot for a week, but it's just come back. I wouldn't mind. Well, of course I would. It's an 8-legged, million-eyed beast, but if something called a false widow, the only venomous spider we have in the UK. And then I said, oh, wow. She goes, I know. We are supposed to kill them rather than dispose of them, so I bought a spray. LOL, absolutely ridiculous. I know. Ha, ha, ha. Then she said, hey, I'm okay. I'm just having a few nightmares. With my old place in lockdown, and I'm not doing too well health-wise. Arg. Anyway, I'm okay. Hope you're well. You won't even believe they were supposed to have fixed the mold. She said, I can't even get a cleaner or a handyman. Everyone is canceled because of lockdown. I had a friend for half a day. I've been walking between the 2 houses back and forth 1.5 miles each way, bringing things over and carrying them in separate trips. She sends me some pictures of the mold on the walls of the old apartment. I said, so gross. What is going on? Healed-wise or something. She goes, healed-wise, is that health? Oh, nothing notable, she says. Just the treatment going on for so long, it's making me quite sick, just in general. It's disgusting. So I've been sat on the floor bawling, not knowing how to put one foot in front of the other. I'm getting there. I said, I feel so bad. I wish we were closer to help you. What is there to do left? I mean, does he expect you to fix the mold? That is not something you caused. Do you still have stuff there? She says, no, he doesn't. She says, I have only cleaning stuff. No, she said, no, he doesn't. I simply buy a mold treatment, spray on it, and left it. She says, I have only cleaning stuff here now and just one box that I will take back today. I said, yay, that should then nothing more to do with me. No, that's what she said to me. She goes, yeah, then nothing to do with me. That's nothing to do with me. I'm seriously losing the plot, though, she said. I said, okay, so then it is done after today? She said, tomorrow. I will have to come back and steam clean the floor once it's completely empty. She said, all I can say now is I'm so glad I moved. My new house is not damp at all. It's warm and huge and lovely. I said, oh boy, it seems like you still have a lot to get out of there. She goes, mainly just crap and cleaning stuff, but so hard with lockdown. I have to do it all. No, you don't. She said, I had 3 cleaners cancel on me. The removal men for the second day canceled. I said, I know, that's a shame. Well, is your landlord pushing you? I mean, surely he knows you cannot get help. Can the people at the cancer center get you some kind of help? She said, no, he's not. But he can take me to court and fine me to claim damages. That nothing to do with me, but I have to get it a bit better than this. The furniture isn't mine either. Then she said, I've asked for people at the cancer center to help. And yes, in short, long, there is a wait list. That didn't fit. I couldn't afford to spend another $1,600 here and on the new place, as well as stay longer. I said, what about someone where you work? No one can help give you a hand? Did you ask Bella if she knows anybody? She said, I've had someone here and there for the odd afternoon. She might. Bella's recommended the movers. Other than I tried calling a couple of times over the past few days and she hasn't answered. Her mom is still very unwell. And then should I have a friend? I think I'm going to have to stop it there, guys, because I was up really early today and I have to get up really early tomorrow. And I'm so sorry, but please go back. I'm going to do the word cookies. I want you to please go back. And if you missed my news roundup, true crime headlines roundup, and please watch that. Share it out and give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Okay, if you could do that, that would be really much appreciated. Now let's see what we've got here, and then I've got to go to bed. Yeah, word cookies. Jen is always there. Oh my goodness, let me see. So now I'm starting to yawn like crazy. Okay, let's see. Ping? There's no, oh yeah, there's. Ping the router. Remember that guy? Peg I have. Pine. Piecing. Oh my goodness. Nice, Gil. Peace. My stomach is rumbling. Because I didn't eat dinner tonight. I had some toast. Because Color Wars was 5.5 hours, and then where we were going to go to dinner was closed, so my stomach is rumbling. What do we do here? Genie? Oh. Well done, Elle. What did she do? Oh, it was at piecing? Oh, that was Elle that got it? I thought that was Gail. Well done, whoever it was. Elle or Gail, thank you. My eyes are really going crazy. Oh, epic, yeah. Okay. Nice. It's gonna be nice. Oh, let's see. What do you got? Icing? Very good. Who got that? Dina. Very good, Dina. There's no 2 E's, Elle. There's only 1 E, or we could do that. I don't know what this word is. Let's see. We gotta just do this because I'm so tired. I just can't. Jen. Jenip? Jenik? I don't know. I'm just gonna hit that because I can't figure it out. Good night, guys. I gotta go to bed. I am exhausted. So tired. I love you guys. God bless, and prayers. See you tomorrow. Be good.